Welcome to the Leaders Insights podcast. Today's episode, Prompt Engineering in 2026, Why Most Professionals Are Still Leaving Performance on the Table. We're in mid-2026. Most executives have been using AI tools for 2 or 3 years now, and yet the article we're discussing today argues the performance gap between average and expert prompting is actually getting wider. How is that possible?
Because familiarity breeds complacency. People learn enough to get a useful output, and they stop there. They treat prompting like a search engine query, short, vague, transactional. But modern LLMs respond to context, role framing, constraints, and reasoning scaffolds. If you're not giving those, you're essentially running a sports car in first gear and calling it efficient.
Give me a concrete example of what that gap looks like in practice.
Sure. McKinsey published internal benchmarking data earlier this year showing that analysts using structured prompts, specifying audience, output format, reasoning chain, and explicit constraints, produced deliverables rated by partners as 40% more usable on first draft than those using ad hoc prompting. Same model, same data, same task. The only variable was prompt quality. That's not marginal. That's the difference between 1 revision cycle and 4.
So what does a high-performance prompt actually contain that an average one doesn't?
4 things consistently separate them. First, role and context. You're not just asking a question, you're telling the model who it's speaking as and who it's speaking to. Second, explicit constraints. Word limits, tone, what to exclude. Third, a reasoning instruction. Something like, think through this step by step before concluding. And fourth, an output specification. Do you want a table, a recommendation memo, 3 options with trade-offs? Average prompts skip all of that and then wonder why the output needs heavy editing.
Is there a meaningful difference across different LLMs in how they respond to this kind of structured prompting?
Yes, though it's narrowing. According to Anthropic's own usage analysis from Q1 this year, Claude models show higher sensitivity to role framing than GPT-4 class models, which respond more to explicit constraint layers. OpenAI's internal data, which they shared at their Enterprise Summit in March, suggests their O-series models benefit most from reasoning chain instructions. The practical takeaway for a team deploying multiple models is that your prompt library shouldn't be one-size-fits-all.
What's the organizational implication here? Is this an individual skill problem or a systems problem?
Both, but most companies are treating it as neither. They buy the license, run a half-day training, and assume adoption equals performance. Salesforce found that teams who built a shared prompt library, curated, version-controlled, tied to specific workflows, saw productivity gains roughly double those of teams where prompting was left to individual discretion. The skill has to be institutionalized, not just encouraged.
One thing a senior leader can do Monday morning?
Audit 1 recurring deliverable, a weekly report, a client brief, whatever your team produces on autopilot, and write a structured master prompt for it. Test it, refine it, share it. That single artifact will outperform a month of individual experimentation.
To go further, Leaders Insights offers strategic training programs, diagnostic tools, and an executive self-assessment designed for CMOs, CDOs, CFOs, and leaders aiming for board-level performance. Explore everything at mba-training.com. Thank you for listening to the Leaders Insights podcast. See you tomorrow for another episode.